Welcome back to Tungal College online classes. Hello students, how are you all? In last class you learned valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. The today's topic is valency bond theory. In short, we have to call it as VBT. So the valency bond theory was introduced by the Hitler and London, and the further it was developed by the Pauling and Slater. Let us write them. It was introduced by Hitler and London. It was introduced by Hitler and London and developed further by Pauling and Slater. Developed further by Pauling and Slater. The valency bond theory is based on the knowledge of the first one is atomic orbital, and the second one is electronic configuration of elements, the third one is overlapping of atomic orbitals, and the fourth one is hybridization. So let us write them. It is based on the knowledge of the first one is atomic orbitals. It is based on the knowledge of atomic orbitals. The second one is electronic configuration of elements. And the third one is overlapping of atomic orbitals. And the fourth one is hybridization. So the valency bond theory is based on the knowledge of atomic orbitals, electronic configuration of elements, overlapping of atomic orbitals, and hybridization. Now let us understand VBT by taking an example. Suppose I am taking a formation of H2 molecule, simple molecule I am taking H2 molecule. So H2 molecule composed two hydrogen atoms, so I am writing this is the first hydrogen and this is the second hydrogen. So for convenience purpose, to differentiate two hydrogens, I am labeling this as a hydrogen A and this as a hydrogen B. I am labeling as this is hydrogen A and this is hydrogen B for understanding purpose. Now this hydrogen has a nucleus. This is the nucleus of hydrogen A. Clear? Nucleus of hydrogen A. I am labeling it as Na. N represents nucleus, A represents hydrogen A. So hydrogen A nucleus I am labeling as Na. Clear? Then this hydrogen also has a nucleus. This hydrogen I am labeling as Nb. This hydrogen I am labeling as Nb. Nucleus of hydrogen B, nucleus of hydrogen A. And hydrogen has electrons. Electron is rotating on the nucleus. We have to label those electrons also. So hydrogen A electron I am labeling as Ea. This Ea is the electron of hydrogen A. And this hydrogen B also has a electron. This electron I am labeling as Eb. Ea is the electron of hydrogen A and the Eb is the electron of hydrogen B. Clear? So hydrogen A nucleus, its electron. Hydrogen B nucleus, its electron. Now when two hydrogen atoms are bringing close together, two hydrogen atoms are approaching each other, the attractive forces and repulsive forces operates between them. So initially the hydrogen atoms, imagine hydrogen atoms are far away from each other. When two hydrogens are coming close to each other, the attractive forces and repulsive forces will operate between them. Now let us look at what are the attractive forces and what are the repulsive forces will operate in the formation of H2 molecule. The first I am talking about attractive forces. Attractive forces arise between attractive forces arise between. First I am talking about what are the attractive forces. So attractive forces, already initially old forces is there. This is the nucleus of hydrogen A, it is electron of hydrogen A. So between them there is electrostatic force of attraction. Already we know well that. So nucleus at the present at the center, electron is rotating between the nucleus of an atom and its electrons. There is electrostatic force of attractive forces is present. Electrostatic force of attraction is present. So this is the one attractive force. Attractive force, and another attractive force is already this is the over force present in atom itself, and another force is nucleus of hydrogen B and its electron. Between these two also there is a attractive forces. Between the nucleus of hydrogen B and its electron there is a attractive forces. So these are the attractive forces in individual atoms. When two atoms are coming close to each other, the new attractive forces is developed. What are the new attractive forces? Nucleus of hydrogen A and electron of hydrogen B, it is a new force is developed. So nucleus of hydrogen A and electron of hydrogen B attracts, because nucleus is positive, this electron is negative. So this is the new force is developed between nucleus and electron. This force I am labeling like this. This is the new force. And in addition to this, one more force. What is that force of new force will be developed? Nucleus of hydrogen B and electron of hydrogen A. So between these two, attractive forces is developed. Between nucleus of hydrogen A and electron of nucleus of hydrogen B and electron of hydrogen A, the attractive forces is developed. These two forces are new forces. When hydrogen atoms are far away from each other, there is attractive forces between its nucleus of hydrogen A and its electron, nucleus of hydrogen B and its electron only. When two atoms are coming close to each other, then hydrogen A nucleus attract the electron of hydrogen B, hydrogen B nucleus attract the electron of hydrogen A. So these are the new forces. Now let us write it. What are the new forces? Attractive forces arise between the two atoms. The first one is the attractive forces between the nuclei of one atom and its own electron. Attractive force is nuclei of one atom, and its own electron. Nuclei of one atom and its own electron. This point meaning is nuclei of one atom labeling as first hydrogen A, I am labeling as Na. Nuclei of one atom and its own electron, not from the other element, other atom, its own electron, Na and Ea. So that means Na and Ea is the one force, attractive force, and another one is Nb and Eb. Nb and Eb. This is one attractive force. Nuclei of one atom and its own electron. Clear? Then second attractive forces is what is the second attractive forces? What we can expect? Nuclei of one atom and electron of other atom. Nuclei of one atom and nuclei of one atom, and what is nucleus of one atom and electron of other atom. Electron of other atom. Nuclei of one atom and electron of other atom. Now this meaning is nuclei of one atom I am labeling as Na. And electron of other atom I am labeling as Eb. NaEb. Here is NaEa, NbEb, but here is opposite, Na and Eb. The second attractive force is, then what we can guess? Nb and Ea. Nb and Ea. So these two are the new attractive forces arises when two atoms are approaches each other. So these are the attractive forces when the two atoms are coming close to each other. Next, what are the repulsive forces is operated between them? So repulsive forces case, so here is nucleus of one hydrogen Na, and this is the nucleus of hydrogen B. Clear? So when two atoms are coming close to each other, so positive, automatically they will repel. One more repulsion is electron of hydrogen Ea, and I am taking as this is Eb. Eb. This is the when the two electrons very close to each other, electrons are negatively charged, electrons also will repel each other. So this repulsions I am labeling as like this. Both are repelling opposite direction we have to take the arrow mark. This nucleus is going this direction, this nucleus is going this direction. When the two atoms are coming close to each other at a particular internuclear distance, if the nucleus of both atoms are very close, the positive will repel, atoms will go far away from each other. This is one repulsive force. And second repulsive force is electron is negative charge, electron of hydrogen A and this is electron of hydrogen B. These two will also repel each other. So both will move in opposite direction. So electron of hydrogen A and electron of hydrogen B will repel each other. Then we can write repulsive forces. Repulsive force arise between. The repulsive force arises between first case nuclei of both atoms. The first one is nuclei of two atoms, simply nuclei of two atoms. That means, what is this meaning is, nuclei of two atoms in the sense Na, Nb. This is Na, this is Nb. Na and Nb. This is one repulsive force. Another repulsive force. What is another repulsive force? Ea and Eb. So electrons of two atoms. Electrons of two atoms. Electrons of two atoms. That means Ea, Eb. So these are the repulsive forces. So these are attractive forces, these are repulsive forces. And one more important point is attractive forces bring the atoms close together and repulsive forces bring the atoms far away from each other. What is my point is attractive forces bring the atoms close together and repulsive forces is bring them apart. At a particular internuclear distance, attractive forces are greater than the repulsive forces. Attractive forces is greater than the repulsive forces. And potential energy atom is going to get decreases. As a result, the atoms combine to form molecules. We have to write these two sentences. First sentence is what? Attractive forces bring the atoms close together and repulsive forces bring them apart. This is the first sentence. Second sentence is at a particular internuclear distance, attractive forces is greater than the repulsive forces and potential energy decreases. As a result, bond is formed between the atoms. Now let us write it. So I am writing here the attractive force bring the atoms. Attractive forces bring the atoms close together and repulsive forces push them apart. So repulsive forces push the atoms apart. And another important point we have to write, here space is not there, I am rubbing it. At a particular internuclear distance, attractive forces greater than repulsive forces. And potential energy decreases. As a result, atoms combine to form molecules. atoms combine to form molecules. And we have to already we learned in a previous classes what is atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals we have s orbital, p orbital, d orbital. For that topic we have to use s orbital, p orbitals. So we know that atomic orbitals already we discussed in the previous classes, and we learned the electronic configuration of elements. Electronic configuration already we learned in the previous classes. This one no need. And simply it has two methods. What is NLX method? N is the principal quantum number, L is the azimuthal quantum number, X is the electrons. And we learned orbital diagram method. Orbital diagram method. So two methods we learned in the previous classes, electronic configuration and electronic configuration NLX method and orbital diagram method. And next one is overlapping of atomic orbitals. Next we will continue the topic overlapping of atomic orbitals and hybridization. The next topic is overlapping of atomic orbitals. Next topic is overlapping of atomic orbitals. The overlapping is defined as the partial merging of atomic orbitals is called as overlapping. Now let us understand what is the exact meaning of this definition by taking an example. I am taking a p orbital. Imagine this is a p orbital, and I am taking another p orbital beside of it. This is another p orbital. An important point is each p orbital has two sections. These sections are called as lobes. Each p orbital has two sections. Those two sections are called as lobes. It also has lobes. And we can have two signs we can take. One is the positive sign. This is the another one is a negative sign. This is the positive sign and this is the negative sign. And an important point is positive sign and a negative sign not are the charges. Positive and negative are not the charges. They are positive and negative are the sign of orbital wave functions. So the sign of orbital wave functions we are showing as negative and positive. The positive and negative are not the charges, they are sign of orbital wave functions. Now coming to the point, when two atoms are came close to each other, these orbitals will merge partially. Then how do we can take it like this? Like this. So this region, this is the merged region. This partial merging of orbitals, atomic orbitals is called as overlapping. This is we have to call as overlapping. Overlapping meaning is the partial merging of atomic orbitals is called as overlapping. When two atoms came close to each other, this overlapping may be positive or the overlapping may be negative or maybe it zero. So positive overlap, negative overlap or zero overlap. Let us discuss them. So before doing that, first we have to read the definition. What is the definition? The partial merging of atomic orbitals is called as overlapping. Read the definition. The partial merging of atomic orbitals. The partial merging of atomic orbitals is called overlapping. Is called overlapping. The overlapping may be positive, negative, zero. First I am writing a positive overlap. Positive overlap. The second one is a negative overlap. The third one is a zero overlap. The overlap may be positive, or it may be negative, or it may be zero. First I am taking a positive overlap. This is one p orbital and this is another p orbital. Another p orbital. So this is the, imagine pz orbital. This is one pz orbital. This is another pz orbital. Labeled as this is a z axis. Clear? Then this is the positive sign. This lobe is the positive and this lobe is negative. This lobe is negative. This lobe is positive. Then two positive lobes overlapped this region. So two positive lobes are overlapped. Then this region, this overlapping is called as positive overlapping. I think got what I mean. Positive overlapping in the sense positive lobe will overlap with the positive lobe. Positive overlapping. Then you can take this is pz orbital. You can take px orbital. So this is the x-axis, z-axis I am labeling, this is the z-axis, then px orbital, right, I am writing like this. This is one px and this is another px. So this is the positive lobe and this is the positive. This is a negative, this is the negative. So this is one px, this is another px. It is also comes under a positive overlapping. So positive lobe overlap with positive, positive overlapping with negative overlap with the negative is, this is positive overlapping. We are taking the sign, these are the positive and negative, positive and negative are the signs of orbital wave function, not the charges. I repeat one more. Then third, this is px, this is pz orbital, this is px orbital, we can take py orbital. So py orbital, this is the x-axis we are taking, this is the z-axis, and py orbital you can represent as like this. This is one py orbital, this is another py orbital. Look at this, this overlap, this overlap. This is a positive, this is also a positive, this is a negative, this is also a negative. So this is a positive overlapping. So positive lobe of one orbital overlap with positive lobe of another orbital. So we have to call it as a positive overlapping. This is positive overlapping. Coming to the negative overlapping. In the case of negative overlapping, same example I am taking. This is one pz orbital. This is one pz orbital, and I am writing another pz orbital like this. This is another pz orbital. So this is one pz and this is the second pz orbital, and this is the positive lobe and this is the negative lobe, and this is the positive and this is the negative. Sorry, this is the negative and this is the positive. Positive lobe overlap with negative lobe. Positive lobe overlap with negative lobe, that we have to call as a negative overlapping. In negative overlapping, positive lobe overlap with negative lobe or negative lobe overlap with positive lobe, we have to call it as a negative overlapping. Then take this is pz orbital, this is the z-axis, this is z-axis. Now we can take this px orbital. This is one px orbital, this is another px orbital, this overlapping, this overlapping. So this is also comes under a positive overlap. This is the positive and this we can take as negative. This is the positive, this we can take as negative. Positive, negative, positive, sorry, this is a negative, this is positive. Opposite we have taken. If you here also positive, negative, negative, positive. Opposite we have take here also positive, negative, negative, positive. Opposite is there, we have to call it as negative overlapping. This is in the case of px orbitals. And you can take py, this is I didn't label, this is py, this is also a py orbital. Now I am taking a py orbital. This is imagine z-axis and this is one py orbital, this is another py orbital. This is one py and this is another py. Then this is the overlapped zone. This is the overlapped zone. This is what? Positive. Then this must we can take as negative. So this is the positive. So this is the negative and this is the positive. This is a negative overlapping. So what is the point to understand from the negative overlapping? Negative overlap in the sense one positive lobe, one negative lobe overlapped, that is called as a negative overlapping. Both positive lobes are overlapped or both negative lobes are overlapped, we are calling as a positive overlapping. And the third category we have is zero overlap. The zero overlap example I am taking any orbital, px orbital, you can take this orbital. And this is the positive lobe and this is the negative lobe. Clear? I am taking s orbital. This is the s orbital. Then there is a overlapping between the p orbital and s orbital. This is I am labeling as s orbital. This is a p orbital. P orbital and s orbital. This is overlapping possibility if this s orbital overlapped at this region. This region. This overlapping is called as a zero overlap, because overlapping is not possible. Overlapping possible when this p orbital overlap like this. This case overlapping is possible, or it can overlap at this end. In this case overlapping is possible, but this case overlapping is not possible. This is positive lobe, this is negative lobe. This is not overlap at positive and negative lobes. This is overlap this region. So this is called as a zero overlapping. Another possibility I will take for zero overlapping. I am taking this is px orbital, and I am taking this is a py orbital. This is the positive, this is the negative, this is the negative, this is the positive. Anything you can do. Here also positive, negative, you can change, no problem. Now this case also overlapping is not possible. You may got it out. Why, sir? This is positive, here is negative, positive, negative overlap na with their side by side, because this is I am labeling as a px, this I am labeling as a py. Px, py. Px is imagine like this will be there, and py will be like this. Both are perpendicular to each other. When the both are perpendicular to each other, then overlapping is not possible. So px py orbitals or px pz orbitals or py pz orbitals are not possible to overlapping. So we have to call it as a zero overlapping. Here is overlapping is not possible. So this is a overlapping. Overlapping in the sense the partial merging of atomic orbitals is called as a overlapping. Overlapping may be three categories. One is positive overlap, the second one is negative overlap, and the third one is zero overlap. Next topic is types of overlapping. Overlapping is different types. They are, the first one is SS overlapping, the second one is SP overlapping, and the third one is PP overlapping. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. The first one is SS overlapping. Let us write it. First one, SS overlapping. This overlapping takes place between the s orbitals of half-filled s orbitals of two approaching atoms. What is this statement meaning is this is one s orbital, this is one s orbital, and this is another s orbital. This is one s orbital and this is another s orbital. These two s orbitals will overlap like this. So this is a merged region. So this is merged region. Partial merging is called as a overlapping. So s orbital of one atom, this is s orbital of another atom. Simply this overlapping takes place between half-filled s orbitals of two approaching atoms. This type of overlapping is called as a SS overlapping. Simply s orbital overlap with s orbital. SS overlapping. Write the statement. This overlapping takes place between half-filled s orbitals of two approaching atoms. S orbitals of two approaching atoms. This is a SS overlapping. Then coming to the second category, SP overlapping. SP overlapping. This overlapping takes place between a half-filled s orbital of one atom and a half-filled p orbital of another atom. Simply half-filled s orbital of one atom and half-filled p orbital of another atom will overlap. That overlap we have to call as SP overlapping. So let us understand this statement by taking an example. I am taking this is an s orbital of one atom. This is s orbital. And this is p orbital. This is p orbital of another atom. These two overlap, then the resulting structure is like this. This is a SP overlapping. This is SP overlapping. So let us write the sentence. This overlapping takes place between, this overlapping takes place between s orbital, so half filled s orbital, s orbital of one atom, half filled s orbital of one atom, and half filled p orbital of another atom. So this overlapping takes place between half filled s orbital of one atom and half filled p orbital of another atom. So this overlapping is called as a sp overlapping. Sp overlapping is this overlapping takes place between half filled s orbital of one atom and half filled p orbital of another atom. It is sp overlapping. Then third category, pp overlapping. Third category, pp overlapping. So I am taking this is p orbital of one atom and this is this is half filled p orbital of one atom, p orbital, and we have to draw another p orbital. This is another p orbital. So half filled p orbital of one atom overlap with half filled p orbital of another atom. As a result, what is the structure will get is like this. So this is pp overlapping. So how to write the sentence? This overlap takes place between half filled p orbitals of two approaching atoms. So both are p orbitals only. This is from one atom, this is from another atom. So two approaching atoms. Then write the sentence. This overlapping takes place between half filled p orbitals, half filled p orbitals of two approaching, half filled p orbitals of two approaching atoms. Half filled p orbitals of two approaching atoms. I am writing here. Half filled p orbitals of two approaching atoms. This is a pp overlapping. So pp overlapping is different types. One is ss overlapping, the second one is sp overlapping, and the third one is pp overlapping. So next class I will come out with another topic.